What is going on YouTube? It's Dr. Zora helping cure you from being a noob. In today's video, we're going to go over the most aggressive YORU plays that were performed in the playtest event in Valorant. Now unfortunately, we were not invited to the event, sad face, but we got some amazing clips from some of the other YouTubers that were participants, and we're going to go over the most amazing combos that some of these players pulled off and how you can pull them off before YORU is even released. That's right, you're getting some of the inside strategies and combos that haven't even been released or discussed yet. If this video helps you out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and comment down below if YORU is gonna be your new main agent. Enough with the hype though, let's jump right into the video.
Die line with the boom pow. Every week now I switch to a new style. 212s in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in a new style. Yeah, lead a club with a few now.
So starting things off, we have the bread and butter YORU combo that, dare I say, is even better than the aggressive Omen plays. To start this play off, you're going to have to place GATECRASH deep into the backline of the enemies. You're going to want to place this very early on in a fight, and this is really going to keep enemies on their toes as they aren't sure when you're going to teleport, so they have to be constantly aware that that is a possibility. So you're going to place GATECRASH in the back of the enemy lines, and then you're just going to leave it there for a couple of seconds. Once the time is right, you're going to throw out your blindside. Now the key to making this combo work is that you need blindside to trigger as you're doing your teleport. This is because blindside makes noise when it's triggered, and this noise can blend in with the GATECRASH animation, so enemies may not have heard that you actually teleported. Or they're just blind and they can't do jack shiz against you. You'll see Ethos from SOAR do this multiple times in these clips, and if you use left click on GATECRASH, it will continue moving forward until it hits a wall. For example, a really strong GATECRASH that Ethos uses is on Icebox in middle, where he can actually throw the teleporter all the way into the attacker side spawn. This one is particularly useful because even if the enemies are aware of where the teleporter is, they actually can't hear the sound cue from the ability, and they have to be constantly on their toes and checking back and forth between the enemies right in front of them and for this YORU flank. Like we mentioned already, Ethos will use a blindside to flash the enemies and then teleports through GATECRASH and kills the enemies with relative ease. I can definitely see this being the bread and butter combo with YORU. You throw a GATECRASH into the back of the fight, throw a flash, teleport, and destroy your enemies with an incredible flank. This is definitely going to be the combo that really sets apart a good YORU player to a great YORU player. So make sure when YORU comes out that you practice this combo, as it's going to be key to making aggressive plays and performing well with this agent. Now we definitely have to talk about YORU's ultimate dimensional drift. With this ability, YORU will equip a mask that allows him to see enemy lines while being invisible. However, it's important to note that he's not completely unseen, as there is an area of effect that will be outlined on your screen, and if enemies lie within that range, they will be able to see an outline of your body. Not only that, but if you finish using dimensional drift, there will be some delay for you to get out of it, in which you can't fire any shots and are completely vulnerable to enemy fire. Because of this, it's very important that you save some time when using this ability to find some cover, grab the information that you need, and then find an area where enemies won't be able to hear you before appearing again and going for those flank kills. You can see here with this clip by Ethos that he does utilize this ability to find where Cypher is located, but then he backs away into ramps to create some distance so that Cypher doesn't actually hear the ability and know where his location is. Although in this clip, I think he still was a little far off because Cypher does end up peeking it, but regardless, that is how you want to use dimensional drift. Get that information for your team, but then also create some space to keep yourself safe as well. If you run the time too low, you will end up not having enough time to find cover, and then you'll be fully exposed and the enemies can easily kill you. Like in this example here by Brush.
I can't see shit.
I wouldn't take that.
On top of the box.
Yeah,
it's like U-Haul.
Moving on, I do actually want to go back to the ability of GATECRASH because it just leaves so much potential for outplays as well as for repositioning. Once GATECRASH is placed, you actually have 20 seconds to use the ability, where you can push onto one area of the map and teleport to another choke point to cover that area off as well, while the rest of your team is finishing off the previous work. For example here, Ethos actually throws GATECRASH deep into Cat, and then he moves with his team into A long. He pushes onto the site with his team, and then once they have enough control there, he repositions himself with GATECRASH and goes into Cat. Now he has control of middle. He can watch to see if any players are trying to rotate through that choke point, but also he has control of garden. Especially when you have control of A and you close the door, it's very unlikely that enemy players will suspect that there is an attacker that's playing on cat. With this repositioning with GATECRASH, Ethos has now gained a lot of map control for his team and is able to get some early damage and flank the enemy. You'll see Brush do a similar play in this clip where he takes control of A short with his flashes and then he teleports back into showers. With this play, if any players were in showers, they're now likely to rotate over to A short since they saw so many players there, but then bam, YORU teleports over to showers and can now surprise the enemy while they're distracted. Now this does look very fancy on paper, but I want to note that it is a risky play as well. If any players are actually in showers and they see the GATECRASH orb, they can camp it and you're going to be as good as dead once you do that play. A play that would be safer is having 4 people push to A short while 1 player is lurking in showers, and then once A short has been sufficiently taken, you can then teleport back into showers and help your teammate out there, and then you have a 3-2 split onto the site. Now this next part is going to sound pretty contradictory, but don't get too fancy with your GATECRASH plays. For example here, when using the operator, it may be tempting to place a GATECRASH in a safe area, get an initial op pick, and then teleport back into safety. Now while this does look really cool, it's not all that effective compared to simply taking your knife out and strafing behind a wall. From what we can see in these clips, there does appear to be a delay before GATECRASH is triggered, in which you're very vulnerable to the enemy. I would argue that you'd actually get into safety quicker by not using your teleporter and just taking your knife and strafing. Now I do want to note that I don't intend to flame Dixon. He's a very well known and skilled player in Valorant, but I did think this play was a bit questionable even though it looks flashy. But I can definitely see this play being made where you push aggressively onto enemy territory, get a few kills, and then teleport back to safety before enemies can pick you off. This next tip is something that's very simple but likely to be overlooked when playing YORU. When using blindside, it will only trigger after you've bounced it off of a surface. Now most players are going to be thinking about throwing it against the wall and then bouncing it off that way, but you can also throw it straight down onto the ground in front of you. This is going to be very important to use in situations where you're in a more open area without a wall to bounce into. You're going to have to improvise and bounce that bad boy off the ground to surprise your enemies and kill them off swiftly. That's all I have for this video. If it helped you out, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below on what your thoughts are on YORU. Also make sure to follow me on Twitch, the link will be in the description as I do make content on that platform as well. I'm Dr. Zora, helping cure you from being a noob, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Oh man, so cool. Yo, that is so nice.